A number of people have asked me about buying on eBay, about how we find decent watches and what we look for and stuff like that. And I always kind of go over the same ideas, which is that you want to buy from an area where a lot of original watches were, that not of literal, there where they weren't abused, and where you can still get them unrestored, so they haven't gone through someone else's shop or they haven't gone through a watch mill, a puppy mill, and been made nice and everything else like that. And what to look for. Okay, so here's a good example. I had to reorganize my office this weekend, and so I was doing that. And I came up with this watch, and I said, well, that could be a good candidate to talk about. This is a watch that I bought on eBay. I bought it a while ago. It's an original Sua 6309. This was someone's watch. It came out of, I think, Maryland. And I was up really late with our newborn son, and so I saw it, and it was a pretty decent buy, so I picked it up. And the reason I bought it, these are the things I looked for. I looked at the watch, and I said, okay, well, one, it's in the United States. That's good. It's in the United States, excellent. Because we want watches from the USA, because we have a better chance of coming up with something that has not been really worked over and abused, and hasn't lived in a really nasty environment, hasn't lived in a hot environment, a wet environment. Next thing I always want to look for, I look for the white lume. One, I sort of gut check it. I'm like, hey, is that original? And I'm like, yeah, that's original. Then I look at the lume, and I said, okay, the lume is generally white. It's got a spot here, but I mean, the pip is good. But the thing that just really grabbed my attention, the hand lume. And I could see in the pictures, if I can show this here, I could see in the pictures the width of the sweep hand. See this? See the width of the hand right here? And see how it's the same as the width of the metal on this circle? Okay, that's an original sweep hand. Okay, so these are original hands, and look at how white the lume is. That's a great indicator, because what happens with these is moisture gets in through a bad crown seal, and then it condenses up underneath the crystal, and the hands start to go bad. This is the first hand to go bad. So when I look at a watch, and what is clearly an original unrestored watch on some weird aftermarket strap that they bought, like at a general store or a jeweler's, and I see that the watch is original and it's unrestored, and it has the lume on this sweep hand is good, then I know that we've got a real fighting chance for something decent inside. I look for dirty cases. See, look at the dirt in here. Look at the dirt in there. The reason I look for that is because I want the watch to be original, unrestored, and unopened. I don't want to have. I want to make sure that the work is going to be done correctly. So I don't really want to fiddle around with a watch that's been through someone else's shop. See the scratch crystal? That's good. That's another thing like the dirt. That tells me, hey, this is a good place to start with. It's an original, unrestored watch. This came out of someone's sock drawer. Some guy had this watch in the 80s and wore it in the 80s and the 90s, and then he put it away. I'm speculating, but he put it away, and it sat in the sock drawer. And then at a certain point he found that he's like, I'm not going to wear this thing again. Or it got donated to a thrift store and someone found it, and there it goes. So again, white lume on the dial. That is what it is. A little bit of moisture got in there. What are you going to do? But the insert, it shows where, but it's original lume, still white. And look at the frosting on the case back. I'm like, okay, this watch lived an eventful, relatively short working life, because normally the frosting on this Tsunami wears away. So this actually is pretty decent. The text is pretty crisp. Watch is from 1979. So this is a good place to start. It's a good place to start. Interestingly, it's got an early crown. I'm not sure what's up with that. I haven't opened this watch. I don't know what's inside here. It doesn't really want to run. It's not happy about running, I'll tell you that. So I'm probably going to find some issues in there, but we'll figure it out. When I'm done restoring this watch, you want to see the power of cleaning, I'll tag on the second half of this video and we can see it. And then once we're done with that, I'm probably going to put this watch up for sale. So if somebody wants to pick this watch up when I'm all done with it, we can see about having that done. Somebody wants to pick up an original American 6309 7049. And there it is. So yes, it shows a little bit of wear, but the nice thing is about the things that I look for on eBay is that the loom tells us more or less what we're going to find inside the movement. And in this case, the loom told us that the movement would be pretty decent, and in fact, it was. It was shiny. It was a good-looking movement. It was a great candidate for restoration. The reason the reason I look for white loom, why white loom to me is more important than white loom in a clean dial is more important than basically anything to me, is because it's the canary in the coal mine. If I know that the hand loom is good, that means really water really didn't get inside that much. I mean, yeah, we've got this little speck right here, but Seiko loom is salt based, and it's going to go first. So if the hand loom is good, then we can assume that the movement's probably going to be pretty decent as well, and I was proven correct in this case. The hand surface are a little hazy, and the dial again shows a little bit of toning and some wear, and it's some sun fading. Rather than the red, this has gone to the green, and that happens. But the movement itself was great. You know, it's a good watch. It's a good watch. It's a good daily wearer. Now, it was fun to restore. A nice Labor Day weekend project to do. And there it is. It's ready to go to somebody. The movement didn't really need anything. It just needed a servicing, and it was fine. The watch has all new seals. Everything has been rebuilt. Other than that, it's completely original. I just cleaned it. I didn't rebrush anything or polish anything or do anything. All I did was clean the movement. That's all I did. Clean the movement, clean the case, all new seals, new crystal, and it's ready to go. It's a nice daily wear. Nice daily wear. Nice piece. I considered, I left this. I decided to leave that. Gives it some character. Other than that, it's ready to go. So those are the things that I look for on eBay. Whenever I look for a watch to purchase, I look for unrestored. I look for United States or Australia. Ideally, dirty with a scratched crystal, clearly unrestored. Ideally being sold by somebody who is not a watch person, somebody who's like cleaning out estates or finding stuff in a thrift store. That's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for stuff that's fully restored or polished or shiny, or from anywhere that looks even slightly dodgy. Any auctions that have a ton of text, I just avoid. I just ignore. I don't go near them. Because my system works. It's worked for me for, gosh, so what is it, 2016? I've been buying on eBay since the late 90s. You know, and we can still find good watches like this. Again, it's not perfect, but it's honest and it's completely original. And a nice piece. That's a nice watch. Anyway, so this watch is for sale. If somebody is interested in picking up a 6309, why, there it is. 6309 for sale. Freshly serviced. Everything is done. No worries, no trouble, no problems. Okay. It's fun. Okay, I hope this video was useful or instructive to someone. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.